Amanda here from Create Your Future. So guys, I've got Andrea joining me today. Hey, Andrea.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, guys.
And Jerry. So we have
Jerry.
Jerry's here. We have an exciting video on how to manifest an apology. It's actually a subscriber's question where they want to know how to get someone to take accountability, responsibility, basically for whatever they've done, right? So we're going to dig into that. We're going to talk a little bit about Erika as you pushed out, how to manifest an apology, and for people taking accountability. Like, I know we've created it, but you know what? I'm going to say right now, it's okay to intend that even though there you pushed out and you manifested them doing that, it's okay to still manifest an apology, manifest them taking responsibility and making it right so you feel better. So you can totally do that. And we're going to give you the tools today on how to do that. Just before we dive into it, guys, for those of you who are new here, my name is Amanda. I am a neurolinguistic programming practitioner, EFT practitioner, hypnotherapist, and a certified life coach. And Andrea is our law of attraction assumption coach, and she's having a sale right now, 50% off. She's going to help you find your blocks, and that's going to help you speed up your manifestation. Okay, so she's going to give you some tools and an action plan to be able to manifest what you want. Her clients are getting results and saying, wow, I didn't realize that I had to shift that, and that thought was blocking me. So sometimes bouncing it off of someone else really helps. It's funny. It's like coaching is like swimming. You can dive in the pool and learn how to swim yourself, or you can get a coach and learn how to swim properly and a lot quicker. And, even I do it. Like, I'll be sitting there complaining about something and or talking about something. And Andrew will even point out that something I'm thinking or saying isn't quite in line with what I want to manifest. Right. So, we all have our blind spots. So anyways, and I'm not sure if this is for you, but we do have a free course, how to find your blocks to manifest anything fast. It's going to help you create some really powerful intentions for your mental diet. At the very least, a list of powerful intentions that you can read a few times a day to get a jump start on your manifestation. Because remember, your thoughts create your assumptions and your beliefs and your dominant thoughts, which are going to create your reality. So yes, I'm ready and excited to hear this question.
Yes, I have the notes I've written down. The question goes like this: how can I manifest someone taking accountability? I am just annoyed even after speaking the truth to the family. So I'm really excited to answer this question, actually, and then I will use Neville Goddard and Everyone Is You Pushed Out. And I would like to even have everyone knows that, but I would like to talk about what it means exactly. Everyone is you pushed out, and everyone is you pushed out. It's actually what you think and what you assume in your mind that that person is going to behave and talk. They're gonna show exactly what it's your assumptions of them. They're going to rise to that version of themselves, what it's your assumption of them that they are going to be. So let's put it in a different way. If you are assuming that your family member are constantly unapologetic, no choice just to come up with that version, because in your reality, this is what you are assuming of them. And I absolutely understand when you see behaviors in people and it's going to become your belief that they are not apologizing, they don't take responsibility for their behaviors. Absolutely, I understand it. It's going to be your assumption that next time they are going to do the same thing. But here it comes when you understand, and again, Neville Goddard always said, you are not going out in the 3D reality on the outer world to change someone's behavior. You are going inward and you are watching your thoughts and you are changing the scenario, you are revising situations, and then you are changing your assumptions. And next time, for example, if they do something but it's not corresponding to your beliefs, you will see, for example, that, oh, he's doing the same thing or she's doing the same thing again, and they never take responsibility, and they are not accountable for their behavior. So then you are not going and trying to convince them and tell them that what you are doing is not right, and yes, go and take responsibility for what you do, and talk with your friends and talk with your family, because you have to understand, doing that, it's going to create the same scenario over and over and over again, and then you are going to be stuck in the loop, because it's not possible to change someone else's behavior in an outer world. You have to, first, this is how I would do. I would revise the story, and I would start to see them in the version where they are grown up, responsible, and they take accountability for their behavior. And then I would watch my inner conversation, what I have in regards to them, because we are always having inner conversation, right? And when we don't like something, we are focusing on that, and we are over and over repeating the same story, which it doesn't serve our end result, and it's always negative. And again, guys, I understand you, because you have so many proofs in the past that they are not taking accountability, they are not responsible, but you have to become the change in order for the outside world to show back the change what you would like to see. So start with yourself, and then when you start repeating the story that you see them, okay, now they are not accountable for their behavior, so you just stop, you take a breath, and you start repeating a story inside your head that they realize how how is it not so right to behave like that. They start to feel uncomfortable behaving like that. They want to show you that they are good enough for you. They want to come up with their apology for you, because they know you deserve an apology, and it would feel just absolutely right for them to apologize from you. You are repeating that story over and over, and anytime the opposite comes up, guys, I promise you, if you are not giving up, and if you're focusing, and this is your mental diet, you are repeating the positive story in your mind, this is the key how you are going to change someone else's behavior, and you absolutely deserve an apology, because you have to see yourself that you deserve an apology. If you don't see yourself getting the apology, and you are ruminating on the story that you never get an apology, then you're gonna get stuck in that story.
Exactly. So, what I would actually add to that is you need to shift your energy. If you're going to be annoyed at the situation, you're just going to create more things that annoy you. So what I would do is I would say, like, I believe, or I feel like I believe that they're going to take accountability. I feel like I believe that, they are going to apologize, and they are, going to totally take responsibility for what they said. Right. And you can call in. So, how I would alleviate my annoyance is I would basically step back and say, look, hey, you know what? Everyone's me pushed out. Like, I totally created this. And then I even get into a little bit, when you're apologetic, they're going to be apologetic. If you dig in your heels, they're going to dig in their heels. So when you do these intentions and you're staying on your mental diet, you will automatically shift out of that feeling of annoyance. When you start, basically saying, all right, well, I can hear them apologize, that, what, they're definitely caring and understanding, and they don't want to hurt my feelings, and they've realized that, what, they've been saying things that just aren't right, and they're going to take responsibility and accountability for it and apologize to me. Once you start repeating that, like, this annoyance will just melt. Okay. And, and then, what, I even feel like, I'm like, I don't apologize, but I'm like, oh, I feel like apologetic. I'm like, for creating them being so mean, like, they don't want to be mean,
Yes, exactly. I do that too. I always ask myself, why would I write them such a horrible story? Why do I make them so mean to me? They don't want to be mean or anything like that.
No, exactly. I mean, whenever someone's come to me and said, "Hey, something you said hurt my feeling," I feel terrible. And it's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I never meant to do that. Like, that was never my intention. I'm sorry it came across that way." So, you can very much so, manifest an apology. You need to intend that they take accountability, take responsibility, and they apologize to you for it. You can even go as far as write out the apology that you would like to hear, and visualize, your end scene of the, basically you can visualize that, pretend you're telling somebody else about the apology, or writing a post about it or whatever. But even if you do that end scene, you still need to stay on your mental diet. I can't stress this enough. And you need to, people always ask, how long do I need to do my intentions for? Well, I'll tell you, you never stop, because as soon as you manifest it, you still have to keep reaffirming, like for instance, I mean, I still have to reaffirm that Andrew wants to be with me, even though I've manifested marriage already, because let's face it, I mean, just because we're married doesn't mean we're going to stay together forever. It depends on my mental diet. So, it isn't a chore to focus on what you want and to say nice things to yourself and to see the good in people, right? And what is tiring is the worrying, the holding, the annoyance, the anxiety, the anger, right?
Oh, it takes so much energy out of you. What I found in the past, for me personally, what I found extremely hard, it was dropping the old story. But you have to drop the old story. You have to start seeing that person being accountable of taking the responsibility and apologizing, because if you don't see them that way, you are staying in your old story. For me, that was one of the biggest challenge, to drop the old story, because I catch myself all the time going back in the past, and my mind was always telling me, but remember that, and remember that, and you remember that, and all the time it came up with a different story. So I start telling myself, yes, I do remember that, but now I know better, and I want to see a different person. And in order for them to change, I need to change. When I come back in a better version of myself, seeing them in a better version.
I know somebody, and their famous line is, "Oh, they'll never change." And I'm like, not with that attitude, they won't. Like, you got to believe that it's possible for them to change. And really what you're changing is your opinion, your assumption of them. And that allows them the space to show up differently. And the funny thing is, okay, so one person, Jerry, can be late for two different people, and two different people can make it mean something else. Okay. So, and what we make it mean is what basically we're focusing on. So, for instance, when I was doing NLP, anyone that's trained in NLP probably has a similar experience. There was this picture, and this old woman, and this young man was like tackling her. It looked like he was mugging her. But on the next page, they expanded that a bit, and they showed that above the old lady was like the scaffolding, and these bricks were falling from it. So this guy was actually saving her life. So, what you perceive, what you think is what you're projecting on there, right? So, if you don't want someone to treat you badly, don't make their behavior mean that. So if you come across something where someone says something and they're not taking accountability, going, "Oh, okay, you know what? This is just a one-off." They are going to take accountability. They realize their mistake, and they get these thoughts too, because everyone's you pushed out, your thoughts are always transmitting, but they think that it's their idea, right? So you've got to have faith and belief, and believe people can change, right? And leave space for that. You're trying to convince yourself of this new story. You're the only one. And then once the annoyance dissipates and you feel neutral, you're going to see results, because that shows that you've changed enough of the story where you're not annoyed anymore. You've told yourself enough. You've let go of the old story enough, right? So, because our thoughts create our emotions,
Yes, and I really want to add to this that, guys, this Doesn't matter if it's a specific person, doesn't matter if it's an apology, doesn't matter if you want a different job or if you want money. This technique applies to every single situation in life. It's not only for an apology. In every single situation, you can use this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You can change any kind of situation. That's what I was trying to say. Any kind of situation you are in at this moment, it can be changed.
Yeah, you get what you give, right? You see the good in people, you get the good back out. You see not so good, and unfortunately, that's what you're going to get back out, right? So I finally understand those monkeys that see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. Like it took me years, but after I learned LOA, I was like, oh my goodness, right?
I know. That's true.
Yeah, so. Thank you so much for being here today, Andrea. Amazing.
Thank you, Amanda, for having me.
You're welcome. And guys, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And remember, if you have a question for us, comment it down below. We send them off to the coaches for video ideas. So thank you so much for sending in that subscriber question. I know our answer helped you. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.